Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin and today I wanted to talk about doing a February reset for the No Buy challenge and just kind of like taking stock of where I'm at and what I want to achieve this month. And I feel like I need to kind of reset and get myself in the no buy mindset again, just like kind of as a refresher. And because, as I was saying in my last video, part of my brain thinks because the month of January is over, the challenge is over, but actually it's not, and it's just a new month. And I'm kind of done with looking at January and going through my bank statement and all that stuff, and overall I'm happy with how it went. But I know that I need to motivate myself to keep going and basically I want to kind of put that month behind me and start with this month and view it as its own little challenge. I've made some notes for this. So I was just thinking, like, it's important to kind of remind ourselves of why we started in the first place, because I think it's easy to lose sight of that over time. And I have moments where I'm like, oh, you know, like where you just feel a bit fed up and a bit bored with it and you want to just go out and buy something for the little buzz that you know you'll get. But that's just part of the kind of shopping trick that this whole year is getting us away from. Yeah, I think looking back at January and my bank statements helped me to see the savings in front of me and feel the satisfaction of that, and it reminds you that there is a real reason you're doing it, and it feels nice to have a little extra rather than not enough and worrying about covering bills and things like that. So that on its own is motivation enough for me. And I do feel like more in control of things like, you know, unexpected expenses that crop up throughout the year, especially relating to my kids. Like, I feel like there's always like something that their school needs or that they need for another like extracurricular activity. So it's nice to feel like I'm prepared for that, and I have and I have a bit of an emergency fund set aside, and I want to work on building that up more. And I also want to, because I know how my mind works, I basically know that I need to have fun reasons why I'm doing something. It can't all just be about like adult responsibility, although that is a very good reason. But just the way that I am, I need to have fun things that motivate me too. So that could be like saving up for a trip somewhere as a family. It could be like saving up for example, I was talking the other day about how I used to play drums in bands and stuff like that, but I don't have a drum kit, and I would like to save up for an electronic drum kit for myself, although I just need to figure out where it would go, because I know at the moment we don't have a lot of space for it. But even just having that in mind as a goal, it feels like you're working towards something that's gonna like improve the quality of your life. It's not just like, it's not the same as sort of flinging money around you, not really knowing exactly where it's going. And if somebody were to question you at the end of the month and be like, what did you buy this month? You're just like, yeah, I don't know. So I want to buy things instead where someone asks, what did you buy? And you're still excited about it after, and you don't forget about it because it's just so obvious to you how much it's like improved your life and like why you were so excited about buying it in the first place. I think doing the no buy challenge definitely enables you to save for those sorts of things that are like real investment rather than just like stuff. February is, I can feel it's already a brighter month. The days are getting longer. I'm noticing there's more daylight after the kids get home from school, and that just lifts my mood and lifts my spirits in general. And I think it just feels like an easier and more achievable month, and like things will be coming with like, because we're nearing the end of winter, there'll be things like daffodils popping up, and I just love seeing those little bright like pops of colour in nature, and I want to really kind of delve into nature and spend more and more time outside. I want to kind of shake up my routine a bit because I think I've fallen into the habit of going for a walk in the same place all the time, and sometimes I think it is worth spending a little more on petrol just to get a change of scenery. What it does to my mind, it makes that worthwhile because it resets something for me, and I just get this urge to kind of flee if I'm struggling mentally. And if I even just go to the other side of town for the day, it's crazy like how much it improves my mindset. I am setting like mini goals for myself for February, and by this I don't mean anything like serious. It's just like I want to, like I said, I want to spend more time in nature. I want to try and get my table out of the shed and outside so I can actually sit and write or read outside and have a cup of coffee and start that little tradition again, because that is something I really look forward to and I love doing as the weather kind of brightens up. But I also don't have anything against sitting with a hood up in like light rain, sitting writing. There's something kind of romantic about it. So I want to do that. I want to clean the garden up in small ways. Like, I know it's not really the ideal time of year probably for gardening, but there are lots of things lying around in our garden that I can just tidy up in the meantime while I'm waiting for things to flower. I want to go to the beach, as I said, more, and go for like blustery walks and make the most of the end of winter, and maybe bring some like hot chocolate with me and take Potato, and he loves running about on the beach off his lead as well, and he's really good about coming back, so I'm going to do that with him and I think he would really enjoy that. Yeah, so I'm allowing treats at home because I think everybody needs to have treats or you just like lose motivation to do anything. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but just, you know, even like I said in another video, like sometimes I will have like a packet of wine gums and like a nice wine to have with it. Nothing expensive, but just the pairing of that, I feel like to me that's like a wee treat to myself, and it makes me look forward to the end of the day to sit down and relax with that. The other thing I wanted to say in this video is if you do buy something by mistake, you haven't failed your no buy. You're still doing a no buy. Like, one item doesn't change that, and like I know it can be easy to just like automatically go into being hard on ourselves, especially whenever there's people around who are like such purists about the whole thing, because you feel like if you don't do it perfectly then you might as well not bother at all. But it's not about that, it's about your progress overall, and like one purchase that you consider to be a mistake doesn't have to throw you off course, and it can just kind of be a reminder to you if you don't feel good after you've bought it of why you're doing the no buy in the first place, and why you are trying to eliminate purchases like that. And you can also return stuff too if you want to, but even if you do keep the items, if you've bought something and you feel like it was a mistake, it doesn't cancel out your progress. Like, it's not like, oh naughty you bought that one thing, get out of here, you're not allowed to do the no buy anymore. Like, nobody can say that to you. So just kind of like, I hope that reassures people who are feeling guilty for having like kind of slipped up in some way with the rules or whatever. And we can set our own rules too. It doesn't have to, each no buy is specific to the person that is doing the no buy, and no one else is living your life, so you know what is achievable for you and what isn't. So I've been trying to get back into reading inspiring material. Like, I have my books about things like the Great Depression, and like my Kate Sing books about kind of like simple cozy living at home, and reading things like that really puts me in the right mindset, and it helps me to kind of get back on the horse if I feel like I've fallen off. And even though I haven't gone nuts and gone on a shopping spree, there are moments where I felt a bit about it, and like that to me like is just a signal to myself that I need to kind of re-inspire myself about it. There's so much material out there about it, and I used to listen to Frugal Friends podcast a lot and find it helpful. And I also was looking up different podcasts and adding them to my list of things to listen to, because I think filling your mind and like with positive information, it just kind of gives you the tools to get through, and being in a positive mindset definitely makes everything in life easier. So I think it's worth kind of cultivating that. So I made a list of the ones that I want to listen to. So I found a cozy writing chat Writing with Anna New, I think is how you pronounce it. It's Neu. The Rewild Your Soul Diaries with Agnes Becker, which I want to try out. Overcoming writer's block, because I feel like I've had a long phase of that recently. Nature and Spirituality, Nature Therapy Online, and Creativity 101 is another one that I thought looked interesting. There's a podcast called The Ritual of Tea, Cook's Chronicles, a podcast, and that is like Nigel Slater. Like I mentioned in videos before his Christmas Chronicles and loved it, so I sort of think it's like the podcast version of that, but it would be really interesting to hear his thoughts on like tea rituals. I always find Patti Smith inspires me no matter what, even if she's not writing about frugality in particular. There's something about her artistic and simple way of living that just makes me want to be creative with what I have. And I found the book Just Kids so inspiring in that way, because she's talking about her time spent in New York when she first moves there, and she's an artist and she's living with Robert Mapplethorpe, and he's an artist too, and about their relationship and basically how they get by on like next to nothing, and the like creative artistic lifestyle that they lead. And I just find it kind of re-inspires me to live in a frugal way and to pursue art over like money. There's another one called Make Art Not Content now, so I'm gonna have a look through those, have a little listen. I'll get back to you if any of them are particularly inspiring. Just to warn you, I haven't listened to any of them yet, so they're just some ideas and I've added them to my list, and I might listen to one in the car on the way to getting the girls from school. So this month I also want to focus on making like a really nice budget Valentine's dinner, not just for me and my partner, but for all of our family. Like, because even before I met my partner, I celebrated Valentine's Day with my kids, because I just thought, well, because I didn't have a partner, it was like they were my partners, and it's just a day about love, so it can be spent with anybody that you care about. And I already have put aside some little treats for them, but they're just little small things, and then I'll make like a homemade dinner that's a little bit fancy. And I totally forgot in January to do the Chinese New Year celebration and the Burns Night celebration, so I want to actually manage to fit this one in this month, because I like to have seasonal celebrations, but I don't know, last month just got really busy and it slipped my mind. Saw that there's also a Fabulous February No Spend challenge on the Money Saving Expert forums, where it's like you can kind of join it and do that challenge with other people and then just like update it as you go. And that could be a good way of staying on track too, is to get involved in like an online community like that, where you're all working towards the same goal and supporting each other. So even though I feel like I didn't do January perfectly, I did make a lot of progress, and I did save a lot of money, and I didn't buy any clothes, makeup, accessories, books, journals, and I didn't buy coffee excessively. I did have a couple of cups out and about, but nothing close to what I used to. I probably did order a takeaway at one point, but it was thought out. It wasn't just because I felt like it that day. Or any tickets I got for events, they were either booked before I started my no-buy or very cheap, like the MAC ones, for example. So yeah, like I was much more thoughtful about what I book and what I don't book, because I used to go through phases of just booking like everything in sight and getting overexcited about it all and wanting to go everywhere and do everything. But I'm definitely being much more mindful about what I book for us. I do feel like I've been fighting the urge so far this month to go for coffee like all the time. I've already been a couple of times with my kids and a friend. I really wanted to go today as well, but I fought the urge to go, but I don't know whether to bring it back in or not for my kind of writing routine and also just to clear my head. But yeah, I'm sort of sitting on that one and seeing what I think about it. And I got around to doing some projects I was kind of putting off today for the house, which money was already set aside for. So we got my daughter like a small bed for her room, because at the minute she is on a mattress on the floor, because she decided she wanted her own room, but her bed didn't fit in the small box room. So that has been like a temporary setup, and we got her a bed from IKEA that was It was really cheap and it is like the perfect size for her room. So she'll be happy about that. I got a new blind for the kitchen because our last one got like destroyed with mold. So it's nice to know we'll be getting like a fresh one. I decided to get yellow rather than orange and just kind of freshen the place up a bit. But yeah, I am trying to just come up with like little goals to do throughout the month, and I do think you feel kind of accomplished if you do mini goals for your day. Like, it doesn't have to be anything over the top or time consuming, but I even find like retrospectively making lists of what I've had to do really kind of makes me feel satisfied and like I've achieved something on a particular day. Like, even if I don't remember to make a list and write it out before I begin, at the end of the day, if you could just get a notebook and write out everything you achieved and tick it all off in one go, there's something really like fun and satisfying about that, and it just feels like you've been so productive. So yeah, I'm just trying to get in a positive mindset for like a frugal February, and I hope that you're all having a great day, and let me know if you've any thoughts to share below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will make another video soon. Bye.